What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Madden Underground Podcast. It's your boy Brian James. And I'm accompanied by my guys, Philly Guy, Snipes. We got a lot of free agency to talk about. It's a lot of stuff going on. You see, we got the game on it. We got the game on. We're gonna be breaking down the free agency moves with the moves that's being made in real life and how they're gonna affect the game and what they may look like in Madden 23 and what teams may look like in Madden 23. So make sure you guys lock in. We locking in, man. How y'all doing today?
Snipes.
Man. Listen, man, let me tell the world right now.
Yeah.
If this was yesterday, I would not be on this camera. I'm telling y'all right now, man, my face was like out here right now. If y'all don't know what an abscess feel like, oh my
man.
God.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Whew.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, man.
Well, I'm getting there. I still can't even commentate for my peoples, man. Shout out to everybody, man, that's been asking me to, I got games I normally commentate for people, and I can't even do them right now because when the second I start, I had to yell at, let me tell y'all something real quick before we start. I had to yell at my daughter yesterday. Right?
Yeah.
Bro, when I tell you talk about the sharpest pain, because I tried so hard the whole day not to yell, but it got on my nerves so bad what she was doing, because I had a headache on top of that, and I had to yell at her. And when I yelled, bro, my mouth, I was done for the day. I couldn't talk to nobody. I'm just sitting there talking to my. I'm sounding like what you call on Charlie Brown, wah, 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 like the whole day. Rest of the day, I couldn't talk to nobody, bro. It was crazy, man.
You should have left her alone. That's when you messed up. That was God's way of saying, leave her be. Leave her be, man.
You
let it go.
You might be right.
Let it go. Me, though, I just want to say, I know you're not feeling good, but you know what? I got your back. I'm there for you because, y'all showed me a lot of love. I did catch y'all podcast in Thailand. It was like maybe 2:00 in the morning, but you know what I'm saying? It still meant a lot. And I'm gonna be rooting for you, man. Get them golden pipes back to 100%. Because we know that you messed up right now because you got on a Bills hat and half the Bills went to the Giants anyway.
Ain't it the perfect division today to talk about?
Hey, the perfect division.
Man. Somebody done let Mick Mickens in the NFL, gave him the keys to the kingdom.
Oh,
he done turned it into Madden Underground. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Man, crazy.
All right, so let's get right to it, man. So as you can see on the screen, the Dolphins acquired Tyreek Hill for some draft picks from the they gave up some draft picks to get Tyreek Hill from the Chiefs. It's been a huge deal within the NFL world, NFL Twitter, the Madden world. Everybody was tripping off of it because we watched it in real time today. If you were following Twitter or watching NFL Network or any sports television show, that was the thing that was on the screen the whole day, majority of the time. And it was like, first off, I know you got a lot of hot takes on this one, Snipes, but how do you give up a talent like Tyreek Hill? Like, what are you thinking? What's going through your mind? Because it's like, by any means necessary, let's keep him here. If we got to only rock with 2 tight ends this year instead of 3 or 4, we need to rock with 2 tight ends instead of 3 or 4. We would have been cutting corners, cutting budget cuts everywhere from every aspect of the roster to make sure this guy stayed on the roster to keep him here at least, for this year or maybe next year too. But this was by any means necessary, and I don't know how they was able to manage to let him go. Like, what was the logic behind it? But what do you guys think?
Philly, I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
All right. Well, I mean, for me, it's pretty straightforward. You don't let a talent go like that unless you need to add more pieces to your team. Now, I'm not saying that he's the type of piece that comes along, but this draft has a lot of speed in it. It has a lot of speed in it. And we know that the Chiefs are strapped because of the contract that they gave Patrick Mahomes. So I think if they can keep Marquez Valdez Scanlon in the building, I think they're gonna be all right. But their division, oh my gosh, like we haven't even talked about anything else yet. But their division, I just don't know if now was the time to make that move. I mean, whew, there is a lot of talent in that division, so I understand it. I think, but I don't know, man. I can't say that I would have pulled the trigger. Shout out to the New York Jets. We almost got them. Nobody likes the Dolphins anyway, except for on Madden. But that's it. That's all I got with it.
Well, I'll say this, man. Like Tyreek Hill, we just like B James just said, he's a talent. You have to try to cut. You gotta cut different other pieces in order to try to keep. You know what I mean? That's a guy that you give him what he wants. Obviously, I think the biggest factor in this situation obviously is, Patrick Mahomes, number one. That money, just like Philly said. That money, number one, is a primary issue. But another thing too was Devontae Adams. He wanted to be paid more than Devontae Adams. And he ended up doing it with less years. Because what did he get? He got 4 years, 120 mil, and then 72 mil guaranteed. Then on top of that, a $50 million signing bonus. I mean, the man got the bag. You know what I mean? The second that Casey said, told Rosenhaus, you can go ahead and look for a trade partner because, they're not going to be able to pay him that kind of. They knew they wasn't going to be able to pay him that kind of money. So it's unfortunate. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate, but listen, I got some stats that I saw earlier, and these are going to sound like Madden stats. And it's pretty dope that you actually got the Madden on the screen. But these are going to sound damn near like Madden stats. But these are actual real stats that I saw earlier. All right.
Okay.
Yo, Tyreek Hill, he has 42 touches since 2018. He has 42 touches reaching over 20 miles an hour. The second person closest to him was Saquon Barkley with 17 since that time.
Wow. So that means that he's moving faster than everybody on the field majority of the time that he has the ball.
Every time he is moving with the ball in his hand, he is moving faster than everybody. I mean, this dude is. We can't even call him a. Let's just call him he's one of a kind. He's one of a kind. That's why he deserved to get more money than. I mean, listen, Devontae Adams, no question, best receiver in the league. Yeah. But best receiver in the league, no doubt. But most explosive, no.
Definitely Tyreek. Tyreek is the most dynamic player in the league by far.
He's your home run hitter. You could put him in every down, every set, put him in the backfield, do whatever you want to do with that man. And he's a home run hitter waiting to happen. And every time.
This brings me to my next point here. Because as you can see, I got the Dolphins roster up on the Madden it's kind of like the updated roster. And you see they have the quarterback situation still questionable in my opinion. Tua hasn't proven himself. Teddy Bridgewater, I think, might end up being a starter. And with that being said, that just it adds a lot of dynamics to the offense as well. He's not a real strong arm quarterback, and when you think about the players that they have, you think about deep threats. That's what everybody's thinking. First play is like first thing to your mind is like, oh, they got this speed. They got deep threats now. Look at all the deep threats they got. It's going to be greatest show on turf again like the Rams. And in my opinion, I don't know if you guys watched the 49ers offense last year. Did you guys watch it? It was one of the more impressive offenses all year long because they moved Debo everywhere.
Yeah. To me, I feel like this team is going to be like a 49er offense.
But more explosive.
Just more explosive.
More explosive. Because you think about the schemes that were put in place for Debo. And there was you had Ayuk, but Ayuk wasn't as dynamic as Debo. You know, Mostert got hurt, so he didn't play as much. But now you think about it, they got Mostert. If you're a Madden player, you're like, oh, that's 96 speed out the gate, in the backfield. You think about it, you got Tyreek, you got Waddle. That's 99 and 97 speed right there.
You also got Cedric Wilson.
You got Cedric Wilson as well. They re-signed Preston Williams. And I don't know what they're doing with Parker, but they said they may move him. But they just got Trent Sherfield from the 49ers as well.
And they got Chase Edmonds too, right?
Yeah, they got Chase Edmonds as well.
They got Chase Edmonds also, yeah.
So they got Chase Edmonds as well. They still got Myles Gaskins and a couple other backs. But they have variety. They have a lot of players that are explosive, and a lot of players that can run after the catch. So if you're thinking about touch passes, you're thinking about moving players in the backfield, 2-back sets, 3 wide, 4 wide. You can do so much with this offense just based on the personnel alone. And they still got what's his name? Gesicki, the tight end.
Mike Gesicki,
yeah.
Mike
so
Gesicki.
they really have a dynamic. They have one of the more explosive, polarizing offenses in the AFC right now, in my opinion, because they
as long as Tua shows up.
Now this is the thing. Everybody talked about how bad Tua was last year, and he wasn't that bad. They nearly made the playoffs. The first early in the season, they were having trouble. The O-line situation was atrocious last year. Their O-line was second. I think it was second to the Bengals. I think as far as getting sacked. So it was the Bengals, and then it was the Dolphins, and they both addressed the O-line situation. We saw the signing they made yesterday with Teron Armstead. That's a huge signing. They went out and got Connor Williams from the Dallas Cowboys. Another huge signing. They got Michael Dieter, but I think that they're gonna still make a few more signings. They still got Robert Hunt, and I think they just got to adjust the right tackle in the center position on the O line. But that's something that can be easily fixed because there's still so many O line out there.
And they're one of the teams too that they still actually use the fullback, right? Because I think they signed Alec Ingold too.
Yeah,
and I think that's So that's another thing too. So they signed Alec Ingold too. So those are guys, man. That I think at the end of the day, man, this offense, you know, as long as they block for Tua, if Tua just steps up and he delivers. I mean, the good thing about it though is they do have Teddy Bridgewater to back him up just in case.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So that's definitely a good thing. You know what I mean? Because he's definitely a game manager. But that's the only thing. And Philly, you could answer the question to this too, because obviously, you know, you as well as I, we both check him out on a regular. But you know, when you got Jalen Waddle and now you got Tyreek Hill. These are going to be deep bombs, and I'm talking about, you know, whether it be Madden or real life. This is deep bombs down the field. You know what I mean? So the question is now, do these guys have the arm to throw these deep bombs like a Patrick Mahomes did to Tyreek Hill? You know what I mean? Those are going to be the primary questions now. Does Tua have that type of arm? We know Bridgewater? I don't think Bridgewater has that type of arm.
In my opinion, I honestly don't think that's going to be the type of offense. I think that's that component is going to be there, but I think this is more so catch and go offense. So get the ball out quick,
dip and dump, right?
Get the ball out quick, let these dudes make a move and get the going. Because if they make somebody miss, it's a touchdown.
Yeah,
they got so many players on the roster right now: Cedric Wilson, Tyreek Hill, Waddle. Mostert, you know, these are all players that if they make one guy miss, it could be a touchdown. It could be a home run if they just make one guy miss. So I'm eager to see what Philly has to say about it.
Well, I mean, first of all, I'm just stunned that Snipes even brought up, you know, the fullback. I mean, I was just blown away. Like he knew that.
You're right. You're right though. No, you're right because nobody uses the fullback anymore. But you're right though, because I mean, that's another element to help, you know, protecting Tua as well. You know what I mean?
Without a doubt. And for me, it hits differently because, the New York Jets, right? Robert Saleh, he came over from the 49ers, and they had their offensive coordinator. He was quarterback's coach for the 49ers. So that offense is an outside zone running scheme, and like Brian said, it's about getting people the ball so that they can do something with it. And so when you change the blocking scheme and you have those type of weapons, and you definitely have a tight end, he's not on Kerry Kittle's level, but he's still good enough. He's still that dude. And then you have the ability to run the ball inside because you have that fullback. Like Teddy Bridgewater and Tua, they don't have to air it out. That's not what Garoppolo did. He's not known for throwing bombs down the field like Patrick Mahomes. It's completely different style offense. So, the game manager component, and I feel like Teddy will probably win out that top spot. At least I think that he should. But their ability just to get the ball in the hands of the playmaker, like that's all they're being asked to do. They're like, look, just you're gonna get them the ball, right? We're gonna scheme it up. They're gonna be open. We're gonna move them around. Your job is to give them the ball. If nothing's open, check down, throw it away, right? Keep it really simple. Don't be looking for deep crossing routes. Don't be trying to, air it out and everything else like that. No. We're not doing that. We got you some weapons, and their advantage is speed. Although Tyreek Hill, he is coming off of an injury. We know that, and we know that some of those guys that have been signed, that they've been banged up. We know that too. Yeah. But the potential that this offense has, if they're healthy, to operate, the Dolphins, I think that, getting Deshaun would have been amazing at quarterback. But I think they did the next best thing. Like they got Tyreek Hill, and I mean, you have to find out if Tua is your quarterback of the future, because not this draft, but in the next draft, there's going to be a lot of talent out there, and you need to know right now if he's going to be your franchise quarterback moving forward. Because if he isn't, well, you got damn near every other piece that you need. Yeah. So I just feel like they've done the right things. In free agency to make them formidable. Plain and simple.
Definitely. Like I said, kudos to the Dolphins. They did a great job of putting together a solid offense. I'm eager to see what it was going to look like in real life. But I know, like I said, it has to be get the ball in their hands and let them dudes just make plays, man.
Hey, let me add one more thing though, because this whole thing with Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill now with this big signing that he's got. Let's make sure that we look in the future for guys like Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf, AJ Brown.
Oh, those contracts.
Harry McLaurin. The contracts for these wide receivers are going to be out of this world right now. I think Hill's averaging what now? 30 million a year now? Is it 30 million?
About 30 million after the first 2 years. He's 25 for the first two, 30 million after that.
Yo, man, listen.
Yeah, so I'm like,
he's making Tyreek Hill now is making more than DeAndre Hopkins is.
Yeah. Honestly, you got to think about it. DeAndre Hopkins is a great receiver, but you got to think about it. Like, Tyreek Hill can break a game plan. Like, you can scheme. You can put together a great scheme. And he can make two guys miss and take it 80 on a slant like he did in the playoffs in the Buffalo game. Mm-hmm. You schemed him up perfectly. You're like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna send these zones, and he just made plays where dudes missed the tackle, and he was able to grab the ball and go. Rack him up. You see, rack him up right there. So he yards after the catch is impeccable. That's a component that Hopkins doesn't have. He's a great possession receiver. He's a great route runner and things like that. If the ball's in the air, he's probably gonna come down with it. But after the catch, he's not making guys miss like Tyreek Hill is making guys miss and just leaving the entire defense. Mm-hmm. And I see Juan in the chat saying, "So glad the Chargers got Herbert." But because like I said, the only thing this team is missing literally is a quarterback. My question to you guys is, do you trade for Baker?
No, absolutely
not. Baker made? Nah, I wouldn't do Baker. Nah, I wouldn't trade for Baker.
Okay. Nah. What?
I wouldn't trade for Baker. No.
What? There's nothing from his body of work that would make you even consider Trade him for him. Like I said, if Tua doesn't work out, Teddy's the backup, and then you get yourself a quarterback in next year's draft. You got all the weapons, and you just hit the ground running. Like there is absolutely no reason to bring in Baker Mayfield. Now, if you're a thirsty team like the Commanders, you saw the Colts traded for Matt Ryan, then
which I
maybe
thought was
you
great.
consider it.
I love that trade. I love that
I
trade.
love that
I
trade.
thought that I thought that was the best scheme fit, for the Colts was Matt Ryan coming to Colts. That was a perfect fit. That's a perfect partnership. You got a back in the back. You got a 1,000-yard rushing back. You got a great receiver, 1,000-yard receiver, and Pittman, and you got a tight end and Mo Ali Cox or whatever. I thought that was a great play, great move. And I see Ben Knowles in the chat saying Baker gonna get cut. That's what it's looking like. That's the only way I see him. Nobody wants him. Nobody's willing to give up a third, fourth, or anything for him.
Nobody wants him now. Okay, but the bottom line is you hold on to him until and you see how preseason plays itself out. You know what I'm saying? You see how things play out, and then because as far as the Panthers are concerned, I mean, look, there's some teams that missed out on Deshaun Watson. There's some teams that thought that they had an opportunity to compete. For the Panthers, Sam Darnold ain't the answer. I told y'all that. I know. But unfortunately, Cam, and I don't even think it was as much as Cam's fault because Cam didn't have, training camp. He didn't have, OTAs. He didn't have anything really. He just kind of came in and did the best that he could. I think he's still a capable quarterback, but I don't know that he's your starting quarterback.
No.
So the Panthers are thirsty, and they need to have somebody on the center, but you just don't cut him. I mean, he still has like a year left.
Yeah.
So like I said, I think you hold on to him, and maybe he's one of your final roster cuts. But I still think that maybe you try to move him or you just keep him there. Before the season starts, because you obviously don't want him to be a distraction, but I don't think that you cut him. I just can't see cutting him when somebody may be willing to trade for him, and then you got yourself a draft pick.
I don't think that they should cut him, but I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It looks kind of scary out there for him. You know what I mean? It really looks kind of scary out there for him, man. They may end up cutting him, man. They shouldn't, but they may end up doing it.
They might.
I don't know, man.
I don't see like you said. You alluded to the Panthers, and my thing is that they already said that they weren't interested. You got to think about how bad of a quarterback you got to be for a team. The Texans said they didn't want him. They could have got him in the Deshaun Watson trade, and they was like, no, we don't want him.
Yep.
They passed on him.
They passed on him, and I mean that's the crazy thing is everybody's passing up on this cat, and you know what I mean. And then look at these rookies that everybody are actually going out to look for right now. You saw Malik Willis the other day. You saw Coral earlier today. He didn't look too bad. Malik Willis, he's making things look pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? He's making things look pretty easy. So I mean, at the end of the day, man, I think people are going to be guys that are out for quarterbacks. I think they're going to be looking for these rookies before they look for Baker right now.
In my opinion, this is the worst quarterback class I've ever seen in the draft in the last maybe 5 years.
Oh yeah, this is not the best.
This was equivalent to maybe that Drew Lock class, the Drew Lock class when he came out. But yeah, I like Willis. He has great arm strength. He has great zip on the ball. He looks to be pretty accurate. I know he's mobile. He can run too. So yeah, I think he's a front runner. Although all the scouts have him maybe third on the list or second or third on the list. Mm-hmm. But I like the top three quarterbacks. But that's it. There's nobody else in the draft. I know they're trying to pump up the Cincinnati quarterback. What's his name? Redder.
Oh, Desmond Redder. Desmond Redder. Yeah, Desmond
Redder.
I
think he's okay too. But outside of those four guys, there's nothing. In this draft class,
I think the only QB that I really, I just think that is in this draft that's a dog is probably Matt Corral.
Yeah.
And only because I remember watching that game that he rushed 30 times.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had nobody on his team. Like, everybody was injured.
Yeah.
So this guy rushed 30 times for his team, and he got, I think it was against Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And he ended up winning that game, rushing the ball 30 times as a quarterback. Now, obviously, you can't do that in the NFL like that.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be doing that. But I'm just saying, when you see performances like that, those are dog performances. Those kind of those show you that kind of shows you right there. Okay, this cat got some heart. Now all we got to do is kind of build him up a little bit, and he could be a real NFL player. So to me,
I like him. I like him.
He might be the one. Yeah, if you're gonna pick anybody, he might be the primary one.
Yeah, he
Now,
might.
see, I agree with you, Brian James. This is not the draft for quarterbacks, and I'm fine with that because you have pass rushers, you have corners, you have receivers, and yeah, you got linebackers too. So everything that we saw and we talked about, Jamar Chase and what he was able to do. We're talking about the kind of money that Tyreek Hill is getting, and the Bengals are happy because they got this young man pretty much locked up for the next 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a tremendous talent. And so you're going to have a lot of young talent that's coming in. And we already have, and I know we're going to get into this, but we already have so many talented quarterbacks. A lot of them are now living in the AFC West, but we do have a lot of top tier quarterbacks that, I want to see what they do with the weapons that they have on offense and defense. Like, these teams are stacked. And I've never been, one to just, favor one particular division. But I mean, I got to be honest, there's no reason that I wouldn't watch any of the games in the AFC West. There's no reason I wouldn't watch any of the games in the AFC North because those teams look absolutely amazing on paper. And they are absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, I'm going to be watching the AFC East, but man, if the Jets aren't on TV, you best believe I'm going to check out and see, what's going on in those two divisions because, I mean, the free agency, it's just unbelievable. The amount of talent that you have is phenomenal.
Okay, let me ask you guys this question. Okay, son.
No. I was just going to say real quick that this whole free agency thing, it actually opened up my pockets now because I said I wasn't gonna get Sunday ticket this season.
No, you got to get it now.
I got to get it again. Now I got to get it. I have to get it again. You want
to see all the AFC West games.
I need to see all this, man. Like, it's crazy.
Now the question is, after the Tyreek Hill move, them losing Tyrann Mathieu, losing their basically their entire secondary and having to kind of piece it together. How do you guys feel? Do you think the Chiefs are the favorites still? Or
no.
I don't think they're the favorites anymore.
Nope.
I don't think they're the favorites anymore.
I don't at all. I really see, me personally, if we're talking about divisions, okay?
Juju's your number one receiver now. Like, come on now. Like, that's
if you talk, but this is my thing. If you're talking about divisions right now, I'm going with the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers in that division, number one. I'm going. If I'm gonna go in order. I'm going Chargers number one. Okay. I'm going Chargers number one. I'm going Broncos number two. All right. I'm going Broncos number two.
Okay.
I'm going Chiefs 3. I'm still going Raiders last right now.
What?
I still am right now. I still am right now. I gotta see the Carter Adams in the NFL. I gotta see that. I gotta see that.
Them dudes are working out together right now.
I know they are. Man. I know they are. But right now, if you talk to me on paper right now, that's where I'm at with it right now.
And I see Ben saying that the Bills are the AFC favorites easily now. I don't think so.
Nah,
I don't think so.
No,
I don't
they're
think
not.
So.
No, they're not.
They took a step. I think they actually took a step back too, in my opinion. I think the Chiefs definitely took a step back because now let's look at your secondary now. You got you acquired Justin Reed. That's a cool pickup.
Mm-hmm.
And you got this. You signed Deion Bush. That's a cool pickup, but he's 68 overall in the game. But No, this isn't gonna cut it. This secondary isn't gonna cut it.
Yeah, they gotta do. They gotta make
linebackers not gonna cut it. You don't even have any linebackers on your roster.
We gotta see. We really gotta see what they'll do. Obviously in the draft, but
yeah, they're looking real sus right now.
Right now, I'm going Chiefs third though. I can't take that Mahomes fact out. I can't.
The thing
Can't take that Mahomes fact out.
Mahomes, the thing that was exposed about Mahomes is when you give him pressure, he crumbles. He's not the same Mahomes when he's under duress.
Mm-hmm.
Under duress the whole time. Now you got to think about it. The Raiders have Chandler Jones and Crosby. We're not talking Ngakoue. We're talking about Chandler Jones. 5 sacks in the game against the Titans. Chandler Jones. So that's a different component now. You're talking about Bosa and Khalil Mack.
Mm-hmm.
That's you was already having trouble with Bosa. Now you got Khalil Mack on the other side.
Yeah, but Khalil injury prone though.
Dude, they still got Jerry Tillery.
Oh no, I'm with you on that.
They still got Christian Covington.
I don't even put.
They got Sebastian Day from the Rams. That's that D line. That front seven is going to be crazy.
They should be on paper. They should be
crazy.
But I don't know why, man. But the Raiders know how to beat the Raiders.
I don't know, man. They got a new coach. They got a new GM. I've never seen the Raiders make logical free agent moves. This was the first year I was like, hey, the Raiders need to go get this dude, and they went and got him. You know what I'm saying? They went and got Rock. What's the name? Rock Yassin.
Yeah.
They went and got a lot of people. They went and got a lot of different players, bro. And I was totally impressed. They went out and got Anthony Averett from the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was the best move because he was the only player that ran stride for stride with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
So that for them to take notice to that, like, yo, this is the only guy I've seen go run routes with Tyreek Hill and stay in his pocket. You know, he's extremely fast. So I'm like, okay, they went and got him. They saw the tape because I was thinking that watching the game, like, yo, this dude is in Tyreek Hill's pocket the whole game. The whole game he was in his pocket.
I think that's what a lot of these. The AFC East teams. I think that's what they're going to be doing this draft coming up. They're going to be looking for some speedsters,
bro,
that can keep up with this cat because now they got to play him twice.
Yeah, you think about you looking about Belichick going out and getting Malcolm Butler, and it's like, yo, they just got Tyreek Hill. You gonna get Malcolm Butler? What is Malcolm Butler gonna do?
He's gonna pay the Patriot way. You know what playing the Patriot way looks like.
It's boring.
But I can't agree with Snipes. I mean, I love Russell Wilson, no doubt about it. But I definitely feel like the Raiders and the Chargers have upgraded, and I feel like, to me, they're kind of tied for that number one spot because I can't say one is better than the other. They both showed a lot of potential, a lot of growth last season. And I gotta put the Broncos in at number 3. And Chiefs, they're bringing up the rear. Now, by no means am I saying that the Chiefs they're done and they're trash and they're garbage. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, based on their division, I feel like that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like on paper. Yeah.
But I still feel like it's gonna be a dogfight, just like the AFC North. Like you're not going to be able to. The point differential is not going to be like it was in the past. I don't feel like the Chiefs are the clear-cut favorite. I don't feel like they're going to, they'll be lucky. They'll be lucky. Anybody wins this division at 11-6, like that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. For you to be able to win this division at 11-6, I think that is saying a lot. And I feel like whoever wins this division should be the AFC favorite. The Bills, I just don't feel like they've gotten better. I don't feel like they've gotten better. And I felt like their window closed. We talked about this, when the playoffs started. I felt like for them and the Titans, this was kind of their year, their opportunity. But like I said, I don't know how you do it, Snipes, man. You got to show the Raiders some love, baby.
Hey, listen, man. Let me tell you. When you go back and you talk about like the Bills, I still think that that's a team that you know they're well. The thing about that team is that they're well coached. You know what I mean? It's a very well coached team. And the way they bring their personnel in, and I'm seeing it even after some of the guys are gone. They went to New York and they're actually making great moves in New York. I'm actually very happy with what they're doing in New York. You know what I mean? They're not going crazy, and you know what I mean? I'm actually very happy with what they're doing. But they're still making great moves in Buffalo. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I still think it's still a very young team, and the pieces that they have there, and you know what I mean, they have what it takes, you know what I mean, to get to a chip, that to beat anybody, especially even if you were talking about a team like the Chiefs. The Chiefs don't have a shot against the Bills now. You know what I mean? If a part 3 came up right now against the Chiefs, no, it's not going to happen. The Bills, I think, will annihilate them, in my personal opinion. I think they'll annihilate them at this point. You don't have the cheetah there anymore. You know what I mean? He's not going to take a 5-yard dump and turn it to a 90-yard touchdown. He's not going to do that for you. You know what I mean? So I think at the end of the day, that's what the Chiefs are now missing, that home run hitter. Now we fail to forget about Mecole Hardman. You know what I mean? We know that he could do something too. He's not the cheetah. We do know that. He's definitely not the cheetah. Definitely. But we do know that, you know, that look, at the end of the day, I don't think that the AFC West, I don't think we're going to see a 5 or 6 game winner at all. I think everybody's going to be 7 games and up. You know what I'm saying?
Think so?
I think so, man. It's going to be a tough division. That's going to be a tough division to call, man. It really is.
Wow.
Everybody in that division, they got better. Everybody.
I mean, they definitely did, but you know, the reason why I said that the Bills and the Titans windows were closing is simply because the Ravens, they weren't 100%. You know, they fought, but they weren't 100%. And there's no reason to think that they can't be back now.
Oh, they'll be back.
You know, the Browns got Deshaun, and they're adding more and more weapons. And again, you know, this draft that we're talking about with pass rushers and receivers and corners and linebackers, you know, there's a lot of talent in there. And I just feel like the Bills had no business losing to the Patriots in the regular season the way that they did. And I know it's the regular season, but they were just too inconsistent for me. And I felt like they had a lot of favorable matchups in the playoffs. And I don't think that they're gonna have it that easy. When I see what the AFC West has, when I see what the AFC North has, and you see the potential that Miami has, and even the Jets, you know, I'll give the Jets an opportunity to show us what they can do in year 2. You know, and they're running a similar scheme to the Niners scheme as well. And then, you know, you have the AFC South. I mean, we talked about Matt Ryan earlier. We talked about how he's a perfect fit. And we know that his head coach is a great coach, like you talked about earlier with the Bills. So I just feel like, you know, there is no clear-cut favorite. I do feel like it's always going to be about matchups. And I just feel like the matchups are just too intense right now to be considering the Bills as a possible contender. And I'm not saying that because you got the hat on. I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm not saying it because you picked them Snipes, even though
the Bills are the best team in that division.
That I can't agree with.
They're the best. So they're gonna have a seat at the table regardless. Let's get that in place right now. The Bills are gonna be there when all the smoke clears. The Bills are gonna be one of those teams in the playoffs.
They're not gonna not be a playoff team.
Yeah,
they're gonna make the playoffs.
They're gonna be in the playoffs.
They're gonna make the playoffs
because you got to think about it. Patriots looking like free lunch right now. They don't. Yep. They got an old bunch of old players on defense. They don't have any explosive players on offense. They're probably the worst. Might be the worst team in that division right now. The Jets have improved, vastly improved. They got a legit tight end now in Azuma. Two tight ends. They went out and got safety help. They've been doing little things to secure, you know, just some solidify certain positional needs at right now that they have right now. He said, "Are the Rams the favorite to come out the NFC?" It's gonna be the Rams or the Bucks. That's what I think. The NFC
is boo boo.
The NFC is
weak now.
boo. It's open.
Weak
Like
now.
anybody could come out of the
Weak
NFC
now,
right now.
man. Yeah,
NFC is poop
now.
right now, bro. But the AFC is loaded. Like the AFC looking like the Western Conference used to be. You know?
Yep.
Like when you had the Westbrook in OKC, you had LeBron on Lakers, and wherever when the Western Conference was tough. This is what it looked like. And LeBron had a free ride from Cleveland to the finals every year because he was on the Eastern Conference. Like this year,
I don't know about every year. I mean,
damn near every year.
NBA helped him out against Boston a couple times, but that's neither here nor there. Look, the Niners. We know they're going to resolve that Jimmy G situation, and maybe Trey Lance is going to be that guy, but I can't see the Rams repeating simply because. They got the right pieces at the right time. And yes, we know Von Miller went to Buffalo. Aaron Donald is still that dude. Stafford, he climbed the mountain.
I think Teddy Bridgewater going to get traded.
Got himself a ring. I mean, Bridgewater could get traded, but it's just the NFC may not be as strong as the AFC, but I don't think they're weak enough that you can just, give the Rams the title to come out. I just can't see it. I mean, the one time that they beat the Niners, they barely beat the Niners.
I don't like the Rams roster, like on defense right now. Like they haven't made any defensive moves that were like, oh yeah, they're gonna be locked in. They lost. They lost a few pieces in the secondary.
You know what? I get where you're coming from, B, as far as some of the pieces and everything that the Rams have lost. But you know what? I just personally feel like when you got Aaron Donald, it doesn't matter what you lost.
Wait, whoa.
I'm sorry.
Aaron Donald isn't playing cornerback. Aaron Donald isn't playing linebacker.
Hey, I agree. But if he's getting there before they even have an opportunity to do anything in a weak conference, I mean, come on now. They're still going to be all right. The conference is weak now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't go that far. I don't think the Rams roster is better than the Chiefs. I'm not the Chiefs, but the Cardinals roster.
I don't know now, man. To be honest with you, I don't know right now because the Cardinals, they're a little bit, they're acting a little scared out here as well too because their little personnel right now is looking quite shaky right now.
If they get Bobby Wagner, then I'll be back on board with the Rams. But I honestly think he's gonna end up in a Charger uniform. That's just my personal opinion.
Well, I mean, he can. First of all, he can contribute no matter where he goes. And second of all, Snipes is right. That Aaron Donald mutt card drops. He could be a quarterback. He could be a corner. He could be a receiver. He's gonna have an impact on the game. So you don't know what kind of mutt card is gonna drop for him, but. The biggest thing is we know that Seattle is out of it. We know that the Cardinals are having emotional issues. We know the Rams just won a Super Bowl and they've subtracted from their team. The Niners still need to be healthy and have an opportunity to win that division. The NFC East, should it be the Cowboys? I mean, yeah, it should be, but for whatever reason, the Cowboys do what the Cowboys do. So we don't know which team is going to show up. Aaron Rodgers is still the best quarterback in that division, so it's a good chance that the Packers are going to represent over there. And then in the South.
Is a toss up, boy. Oh my gosh.
Who do you even go with?
Who do you pick in the South? Tampa Bay.
Right, but here's the thing. You can say Tampa Bay, but is this the year that Brady actually looks his age? We don't know yet.
Brady at his age. I'll take Brady in a convalescent home in a wheelchair over every other quarterback in that division right now. You got to think about it. You got Jameis Winston, who knows what he's gonna come in looking like, or which version of Jameis we're gonna get. We may get joking, clowny Jameis who throws 30 interceptions. We may get the Jameis from last year who started off throwing 14 touchdowns, 15 touchdowns. You never know. It depends on which version of Jameis we get. But the Buccaneers always have troubles with the Saints. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, they're tough. They're a tough cover for them for sure.
You got Mariota in Atlanta with no receivers. I don't see them picking up any receivers anytime soon.
Yeah, it's really going for the year. So
yeah,
well, he got Pitts. He got Pitts.
Pitts is one man.
One man is going to be doubled and tripled.
Doubled and tripled. So he won't be a factor. You got Carolina, who doesn't have a quarterback. That's a problem in itself. I like what they've been doing on the defensive side of the ball. I think they'll be okay over there. They got a good group of linebackers, good front seven, secondary is solid. But yeah, I think they're in trouble at the quarterback position. If they get a quarterback, they'll be okay. But it just depends on who's going to be the quarterback. Baker, I don't know. Everybody asking where's Baker going. I don't know where Baker's going. He's not going to Carolina. They said
they say that now. They say that now. They took on Sam Darnold. He's better than Sammy.
No. They already said they don't want Baker, and Baker said we don't want them. Yeah, I don't want to be there. So
yeah, they already stated that already. And my personal take on the whole thing with Carolina, I just have a funny feeling that Matt Corral is going to be the one to go there. I got a funny feeling.
Yeah.
He's gonna get drafted there. He's gonna be one to go there, and he's gonna end up being the starter there. They're just gonna groom him to be the starter there, and that's it.
I don't trust anything Carolina says and I don't trust anything Baker Mayfield says. So that's why I'm saying that they're both lying. So, we don't know. I hope that you're right though, Snipes, because, frankly, and I don't want to take it anywhere else, but frankly, I'm getting a little tired of people that have, not proven themselves to be winning quarterbacks, continue to get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. You know what I'm saying? We didn't talk about it much, but I really felt like Tyrod Taylor leaving the Texans was one of the more quiet free agent signings and steals out of free agency because that man was balling last season.
Yep.
So, I just want to see other coaches, other quarterbacks get opportunities, and let's see what they can do. I'm tired of seeing, certain coaches and players being recycled and then people trying to, say it's their second coming. It's like, look, man, they had their shot. Okay. Let's let some young blood come in, some new blood come in, and let's see what they can do. So, I am looking forward to this draft, though. I can't lie. Even though there's not a lot of quarterbacks in it, I am looking forward to this draft.
Yeah, you mentioned the whole thing with with Tyrod Taylor, and that was one of the things that I love that the Giants went on and did. You know what I mean? Because I think I've said it on the podcast here before. I want the Giants to have somebody there to just to light a fire up at Daniel Jones behind, because it needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? You need to know that you're on thin ice now. Like, there's we can't have any excuses anymore. Like, if you're going to keep turning the ball over, we're going to give it to this man that doesn't turn the ball over. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So what he doesn't throw for 300 yards. So what he doesn't have, like, for example, in Madden, he doesn't have 88 speed. You know what I'm saying? So what? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? The bottom line is, 86 ain't bad. Exactly. There you go. So, at the end of the day, I'm happy that they've done that. You know what I mean? They didn't go out there, spend a crazy amount of money on him, but there's a guy that's behind him that's going to light a fire now and say, look, you're either going to do the job or we're going to give it to this man right here. And now we can go next year. And if we stink this year again, then now we can go next year and say, oh, yeah, I do like the Matt Breida move as well, because, hey, Barkley's always injured.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Barkley's always injured. So the Breida move was great. The O-lineman that we got from Baltimore, great moves from Baltimore and from Indianapolis. They made some great moves. And the biggest things that they've done is those re-signings that they did with Sterling Shepard and Blake Martinez, where they lowered their costs down. The GM has come in and he's done a great job there. I am happy at what he is doing. He knows it's somewhat of a rebuild, and he's got to be smart about everything. That's why he's not going out there spending, crazy bread on all this other talent that's out there, because it's pointless. Why spend all that money and you're going to end up, winning, 4-13 again. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question, Snipes. We start a new league up, right, today. Or let's say when the season's over. We got the updated rosters with the new players. We decide we're going to do the 3-3, 1 X Factor, 2 superstars on both sides of the ball, right?
Do it.
What team are you taking?
If I had what pick? Number
Ain't
one
no
pick?
It's just what team you taking. It ain't going to be no picks. It's first come, first serve. Who you taking?
You don't get to trade the pick, sir. You don't get to trade the pick.
What?
Not a trick question.
What pick? Number one pick is getting traded.
Yo, listen. If you ask me what team I got to pick right now, I'm picking one or two teams. I'm picking the number one team I'd probably pick right now would probably be number one, just because of the speed.
Wait. You glitched out. Who'd you say?
Dolphins. Number one,
okay.
because of the speed. Number one. Okay. That's the number one team I will pick. If you ask me to pick a second team, it'd be you know what? I would say that I would say the Bills. I'll do the Bills number two, because I like playing with Josh Allen. I like playing with Josh Allen a lot. If you ask me, those are the two teams that I would pick. But number one would be probably the Dolphins. Number one. Because, offensively, they got everything. As far as Madden's concerned, my goodness, they got everything across the board. Everything.
Really?
They got everything across the board. As far as Madden's concerned, it's a video game you're talking about. So, Dolphins all day. No doubt.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Philly?
Well, I just want to say real quick that if Snipes takes those Dolphins, we know his X factor is going to be going on his quarterback, because you can't do nothing without Gunslinger. I'm here to tell you, Snipes, you can't do nothing. You know it. We know it. They know it. You can't do nothing without it. And for that reason, I got to tell you, man, look, there's 3 teams. I know you said one, Brian, but I'm sorry, man. Them Cleveland Browns are looking hot. Them Chargers are looking like fire. And worst comes to worst, I got to let Russ cook, baby. I got to let Russ cook. So, those teams to me on the game are, they're sick. Unfortunately, Carr, the Raiders have talent, but Carr, he's not that X factor, and if I don't have to make my quarterback an X factor, then I'm not going to do it. If I don't have to, I'm not going to do it. You know me, because I like to run the ball. But common sense, because, I don't play the game with common sense. Common sense says you get yourself a quarterback that's X factor that can do what it do. And that's all I'm saying. You gotta go with Deshaun. He's got the speed, he's got the skills. You can go with Russ, and you can go with Herbert. In my opinion.
Respect.
In my humble opinion. How about you, B. James? Mariota? What you looking at?
No, I'm not looking at Mariota. I see my son in the chat talking about the chicken man is here. Congratulations on your job at Popeyes, kid.
Nephew, make that money.
Got him a job at Popeyes. No longer has to ask me for money. Good, congrats on that, chicken man. But I'm you know me. I'm not. I would say the Titans, but Tannehill has let me down so many times over the years. Well, just last year, just starting the game off with an interception made me lose all faith in him. So it wouldn't be the Titans. I think I would probably go with the Raiders.
Okay.
I like the Raiders, man. I like I said, I like they're a couple linebackers away from being a complete team, but they got a stable of backs, a good quarterback, a group of receivers that's pretty decent. You got Waller, a solid tight end. O-line is pretty decent. D-line, if that front seven is going to be, they get them a few linebackers, they'll be straight. And I like the secondary. I actually like the secondary. So I would go with the Raiders. That's just me.
Okay.
But we know you're gonna draft the Titans regardless. So it's nice to have these hypothetical situations.
Sadly,
it's so nice to have them. But we know.
Sadly, man. But yeah, like I said, I like this free agency period, off season period has been the best. It reminded me of like the NBA.
Man.
Just anybody could go, nobody's safe.
Love it.
I love it, man, and then it makes the draft more valuable now because you see the gaps, the vacancies in the teams. If you go through some of these rosters, you like, oh, they need linebacker, they better go linebacker here. So when we looking at these rosters on draft day and waiting to see who's selected and seeing who's going to be plugged in certain teams, it's going to make a lot more sense the moves that certain teams were making. But Carolina needs a quarterback. I think Carolina needs a quarterback. I think Houston needs a quarterback. And I'm going to go on the limb and say Seattle needs a quarterback. I think Baker in Seattle would be okay. I think if they got Baker in Seattle, you don't lose much with losing Russ.
I agree there. I do agree. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Russ wasn't that successful last year. He wasn't balling out of control. I think you would get some decent numbers with that receiving core. They improved the O-line a little bit. They're solidifying the secondary. They've been signing players all week in the secondary. They just got to work on that front seven. I think they'll be okay though. But Seattle, I think Seattle's definitely a sleeper team if they get a quarterback.
Yeah, Seattle be a good. They'll be as long as they get a QB, man, they'll be all right. And the Baker Mayfield thing, you know what I mean, I think that'll work out. But you know, I just hope that Cleveland's asking price ain't too much. You know what I'm saying? It can't be too much because obviously you're gonna end up having to cut the man. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you can't ask for too much. Could you
imagine Baker getting cut? The irony of that, how does that happen? It was all good just a week ago.
But that's the thing. The second you know what? The second he gets cut though, he's gonna get picked. He's gonna get picked up.
Yeah, nobody wants to give up anything to get him. That's the problem.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Exactly. Nobody wants to give anything up to get him. So they want you to cut him, so that way they could just swoop in and be the game saver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
everybody wants to be the benefactor. And everybody wants to give up anything to contribute to the cause. But like I said, the Chargers definitely. The AFC West is like the Wu-Tang Clan right now. Ain't nothing there for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I like the AFC West. I like what Pittsburgh is doing. They're quietly building. I think if they add Honey Badger at the strong safety position, that will give them that Troy Polamalu dynamic they've been missing for years.
I see that. Then, oh my gosh, bro! I'm glad you brought that up because I so see Tyrann Mathieu
in a Steelers jersey, bro.
Yes, I can see it.
Everybody saying Dallas, but I'm like they just signed Hooker and Curse. I
don't see that.
Tyrann Mathieu in Pittsburgh would be because they let Edmonds go. You know,
and he belongs there. He belongs there. Yeah. He belongs there. He fits that scheme.
Fitzpatrick and the Honey Badger. That'll be wild.
That's that right there. And yeah, I mean, and that's perfect for the AFC North. They need that. That team would need that. You know, dealing with Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like that team would need that. That would be great. That would be great for them. That'd be a perfect pick.
Yeah, and the Steelers are a sleeper, especially if they can do that. They're a sleeper because we know that they got their running back. Big Ben, when he first came into the league, they had a great running game and they had a great defense, right? And that's what you want for any rookie quarterback. So I'm hoping that that the Steelers are able to use that same formula, get some weapons in the draft, and there's no reason to think, especially with Mike Tomlin's record, there's no reason to think that they can't compete, that they won't compete, that they won't be in the AFC. Come on.
Okay, so look, here's a few free agents that are left on the board. So you got Tyrann Mathieu, clearly number 1. You got Stephen Gilmore, number 2. Bobby Wagner, number 3. Marpet retired. Incognito is still on the board. Gronk, he's pretty much going to the Bucs. He's waiting for the contract.
He's going to Bucs. Yeah, he's not playing for nobody else.
You still got Calais Campbell on the board, man. I think he still got something left in the tank. Akeem Hicks, Antonio Brown. Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon. I think Melvin Gordon would be a great fit in Houston. They don't have a back right now. I think Melvin Gordon would be a perfect fit in Houston. What you think?
That might be a good pick. That
might be a good pick. That might be a good pick.
Not for him, because how I mean, what do you want? It depends on what he wants. Does he want to win, or does he want to get paid knowing that there's going to be 8 in the box every down, every game?
Yeah, that's true.
Every week, that's going to shorten your career a little bit faster. But again, if you can get paid, then by all means, do what's best for you and yours.
You made that position sound like a painful signing. So it sounded real painful after you
run it back for the Houston Texans.
Yeah,
hell yeah,
that's a painful job. I don't know if it's worth it. The compensation is worth it. All right, but what about Gilmore? Where do you see Gilmore going?
Gilmore, that's I mean,
he didn't even go back to New England.
I doubt that. I doubt he'll go back to New England. You know what? I can see. The Bucs don't need him though. The Bucs don't need him, because I could see him. I don't know, man.
I'm gonna say New York. I'm gonna say the Jets. The Jets are trying to move out of the first round, and sometimes you do that, to make some money. So you have enough, that you can sign people. And they've been looking for a veteran corner.
I personally would like to see him in Oakland, but that's just me. I would like to see him in Oakland.
In Oakland?
Las Vegas, you mean? Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. I would like to see him in the Raiders uniform. That's just me personally.
Nah, he's a Charger. He's a Charger or a Steeler. I can't see him.
If they get Tyrann Mathieu and Gilmore, I like the Steelers. Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. They already got your boy from Buffalo. What's his name? Wallace.
Yeah, they Levi Wallace.
Yeah, so yeah. I'm like you add Gilmore on the other side, maybe get Honey Badger or bring Edmonds back.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be a legit defense. And then they got Miles Jack already. They added Miles Jack to that linebacker. Miles Jack, so that could be interesting. They still need some receivers. They still need some receivers though.
That was a key loss that you mentioned for the Bills, man. Levi Wallace, that's a key loss.
No, that's why I said they weren't the same.
Key loss. That's definitely a key loss for them for sure defensively.
I see Mr. Dot saying the Rams are broke, bro. Like, I don't know how they're gonna sign these players you're suggesting. They don't have
right. Why you yelling at this man? Look,
I don't know. I just want to know. I want to know.
Do what you said. Do what you said. First come, first serve. One season only. The last season of Madden 22. Brand new teams with the free agents. Let Mr. Dox pick the Rams. Let his page on the Rams.
I promise you, he's not taking the Rams.
But you know what? No, you set him aside specifically for him. Make him put his money where his mouth is. All right? Rams is off limits, just like the Titans is off limits. We all know this.
I don't want the damn Titans. I do not want the damn Titans, man. Titans are never off limits.
Hey, okay, Brian, who'd you play with last year?
I played with the Titans.
Who'd you play with this year?
I played with the Titans.
Who'd you play with the year before that?
The Titans.
And the year before that?
The Titans.
And the year before that?
I've played with the Titans damn near every year.
Okay.
I haven't won. I'm about to cuss. I haven't won anything with the Titans, bro. So my loyalty to them on this game, there is none. So at this point,
y'all making my mouth hurt.
At this point, I don't care anymore. I no longer care or anything. But I got a Laker game to go to. I thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next Wednesday. Unless something crazy happens tomorrow, we may jump back on stream tomorrow and talk about something. But yeah, the way free agency is going, we never know. But make sure you guys keep it locked. We got playoffs coming up. We're to the midway point in our seasons. So if you guys are interested in joining the league, it's kind of too late. But if you want to be in the league next year, or if we start another league after this, which it's a strong possibility that it may happen with these rosters and the free agents and all this stuff that everybody's eager and excited about, may give everybody new life with a new game, new style of play with the 3-and-3, bring the 3-and-3 back. We may do a league like that, or maybe we may do something different. So make sure you guys keep it live. We'll have that information for you guys real soon. But we're gonna do, what we feel is gonna draw the most buzz and anticipation. But I definitely think the 3-and-3 situation would be fun to do again, because we didn't have that element this year. You said what?
Simulation mode.
Hell no.
Make numbers matter.
He He said, we really doing one season, first come, first serve? Oh, it definitely first come, first serve. I don't know how many seasons we're doing. But whatever we do, it'll be first come, first serve. We're not going to be doing a lottery for that. Take too much time. So make sure when we do announce it, make sure you start getting your money ready and everything for that. And we got some other things coming up too. Also, I'll be contacting a few players in the league to participate in I'm not going to say a special event, but a certain type of event. It'll be active guys only. If you're not active, do not. He said, make sure I'm in Pro next man. If you're not active guy, do not inbox me about this particular event. It's a free event, but it'll be an opportunity where you may be able to make some money. So make sure if you're an active guy, feel free to hit me up about this particular event. But I'm definitely looking for a few players to participate in it. It's a opportunity.
And VA Dimes, tell them
$300.
It's not only fans VA Dimes, so you can forget about that. It's only football.
$300 opportunity. So it's just make sure you hit me up. I'll have the details for you guys next week for the guys that once I talk to a few guys this week. But by the podcast next week, I have the details for you guys on that. And we may have something for you guys to talk about, something to talk about in regards to the possible next league after the season is over. With that being said, I'm off to go see the Lakers without LeBron. And Snipes broke my heart with that. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go over to LeBron. It's like, LeBron ain't playing. He's sitting this one out. I said,
yeah, he's sitting it out.
What about Harden? He's like, Harden's sitting it out too.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. I could be wrong. He's supposed to be.
Okay.
But we'll see.
We'll see. But I'm on my way to the crypto arena. So
all right.
I'll get with you guys later. I'll get with you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate your viewership. And we'll see you guys next week, next Wednesday. Oh, okay, for sure. Yeah, we headed that way now, Tony. So we're trying to get home to watch your kids. So it's the babysitter. The babysitter checking in, like, okay, well, we can't make no moves without the babysitter. So, but yeah, we'll see you guys next week.